Hello and welcome. I'm starting a new series here with the game Songs of Syx. My plan is to crank everything up to the highest difficulty. I will not select any titles, which make the game quite a bit more easy, and then show you more as a proof of concept that even on that difficulty, it's not that hard actually. You can do it, I can do it, maybe. Let's find out. Just a few points up ahead. I'm recovering from a cold, so my voice might give out at some point and be even worse sounding than normal, which you wouldn't know. If you have any wishes, if you're even watching this, just let me know and I can accommodate that. My plan is to record this first session without any cuts, just rambling like a madman. I don't like reading off scripts, so English is also not my first language, so you have to suffer through quite a bit if you're willing to. As your reward, you get to see me suffer through this game at the hardest difficulty. So, to start this off, I'm going to show you the setup, which is going to be quite quick. I will try to not put too much thought into it, just to show you that you can probably make any start work in this. What we're going to do is, we're going to start a new random game, and then plop this up to hard++. I don't know why there isn't a hard. There's normal, then there's hard++, but hey, let's go with it. The god of this game, which is named Jake, has provided and we take it. Okay, now it's loading the world map. Not yet. We have to select the species. We're gonna take the insect boys because the insect boys have one thing that we like very much, and that is low demands. We can make them happy quite easily, and happy people become more people. This is the title screen. I've unlocked quite a few titles. This title screen is new in the version 65. And some of them make the game much more easy. Like this one just gives you a 20% bonus to all the production workshop buildings. Birth of the Name gives you 1000 knowledge, which is a huge boon, and 45 people at the start. Which actually would be quite the drawback when you play on this difficulty. The other titles are also very nice, you can select up to 5 from them, but if you start the game for the first time, you have nothing of this unlocked, and that's what I'm going to take, with the added benefit of playing on the hardest difficulty. I'm not going to impose any other additional challenges on myself, because I'm just going to show you that at this difficulty it's possible to play. And if there's demand for it and you want me to add some crazy weird challenges to it, we can do that. Now, I am also not going to put too much thought into picking the perfect starting location. What we need is a temperate, warm climate, because the insect boys, they like it warm and moist. And we need a lot of mountain. Insect boys love the mountains. And we need some trees. And I think we found the perfect spot. It has trees, it has even a river, which we actually don't need, but it has a lot of wood and a lot of mountain. So I'm going to click this. Now it's generating the whole political landscape of this world, which is random every time. I'm not going to look at it too much. I don't care. Can go. And now it's generating the actual map we're going to play on. And that is the more important part, but I'm also not going to regenerate it, even if I don't like it, just because that would make it easier. Okay, looking at the map, looks quite alright. Actually, quite a bit less mountain than I would have liked, but I think we can do it. And in the spirit of keeping things hard and not regenerating, I'm just not. This looks a fine spot. We can dig into the mountain over here. We have of those delicious meat grubs we can eat. There's also some other stuff nearby which we don't need, but we need wood and we need a mountain. I'm going to plop it here, over here. Now we have our 10 people and insect boys. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up city center. Give them a big hearth so they can warm. And the most important part, we need a place to put our stuff in. Warehouse, which I'm going to build. I don't know. Maybe make it smaller. Put some crates in. I'm going to play this a bit faster than I usually would, just so it's not too boring for you guys. Larger. I also don't have any templates for all the buildings, just because a new player wouldn't. So I'm going to show you the experience a new player would with playing this on the hardest difficulty. Okay, this is actually the most important. We want our little stockpile to be up as fast as possible. What I'm going to do is I'm suspending the other jobs. I'm going to let those guys build. They have some stone and wood from the get-go, but I'm also going to give some orders. Fell some trees, so we have more wood. And yeah, gathering stone is not needed because they will dig through this mountain. They get a lot of stone from doing. Okay. I'm going to set up a few other things and then immediately disable them so they don't get built too quickly. Sorry for the frantically hopping around here. I'm not quite used to explaining what I'm doing, which is probably a bad idea if you want to make YouTube videos, but hey, here I am. Okay, we have a speaker. We need something for our drink, the health, well. Then we will need something where they can go eat, which is a food stall. You can debate about going big for the first, right from the get-go, so you have it for later, or you can go small so they don't have to build too much. I'm opting for the smaller version right now, just so they can get it built more quickly. Then we're going to disable those jobs, just so they build the stockpile. What we also need, because we have the harder settings, is we need to immediately spend our livestock, which we can do with a little meat grub facility. Build it like this. And the place over here, because they need a place, a spot to go in. Then we can build our gate here, which we can't because it's small. Now we can build our gate over here. We can build a hut in there, so they produce it. Yeah, they don't actually need additional maintenance, because if it's built inside a mountain, I don't think that counts. Also need to disable this job. Okay, and now we can go fast. Now we can go really fast, because this game is on the normal speed. It's very, very slow. We start to build it. We can activate a few other jobs. But there's this handy button over here. If I press this, the game runs at 25 speed. 25 speed would be okay for most part, but especially on this difficulty, there will be a few parts where the game is hardly moving at all, because I have to be very methodical and slow. And if I press this button again, it moves at 250 times the speed, and that's more like it. Our starting food is running out, but we can start to stockpile some stuff, which is especially important when it comes to stone and wood. And whenever we need food, there's our delicious meat grubs over here. We just go and hunt a few of them. And then we have food for the next few days. This addition is new in this version. Before you couldn't hunt them, you build a hunter and they would go out and hunt the animals around the map. Jake, the developer has changed this, and now the hunter just goes off map and magically spawns meat. So it's a bit more sustainable. But he said the intended thing is to hunt in the early game, and I found out that this is actually quite a good idea. So I'm just going to do as the developer says, and I'm going to hunt my meat in the beginning like this. What we're also going to need are some houses for our people. Okay, yeah, we need to first have them somewhere. Actually, wait, so we stone. And we're going to build here. So we have enough space for 30 people, which is way more than we have now. Future proof for the next few days. Need to keep an eye out for my food, because we don't produce any food right now. 6 a day. Which is one of the difficulties we selected in the beginning, is that our people need. And one problem is also that normally the spoil rate for stuff, so over time stuff just deletes out of your stockpiles, is 100%, but since we cranked it up to hard plus plus, the spoil rate is 150%. There's a few ways we can make this better over time, especially with technology, but right in the beginning is harsh. So for the next few years in the game, we're just going to consume everything we produce and not stockpile anything at all. They're building the houses right now. The food stall is there, and now, yes, they have started to hunt, and now we have food for 27 days, which is actually a big lie, because the food will spoil faster than we can eat it, so this is definitely not 28 days. So what I'm going to do now is I have to give my people room in the mountain, so they can build stuff. Build. Then I will also need some space over there, and they can activate this job. Hope I have some livestock left. Yeah, farm is still there. So now they start digging out this thing, and then they start putting livestock in it, and then they just breeding those delicious meat grubs. Multi-crawlers are they called. And then we start producing food, which is not that bad, because we can't hunt forever, especially not if we want to grow the city from 10 people to like 1,000 later on. What we're also doing all the time over here is we're producing stone. Every time they dig out one of those tiles, a few stones get produced. And those stones, even on the hardest difficulty, they basically don't spoil at all. So we can build a stockpile of those stones. And over time, we can use those to trade. And then we just buy the stuff we need. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to plan out a few digging jobs for my people. So I go into the mountain. Now we have a speaker, we have a well, half, our people are happy. We have 100 food. Our first insect boy got crazy. And now we can crank the speed up a bit. I have to keep an eye on this number. If this number gets too low, I need to kill a few delicious meat grubs again. And most of the degrading here is actually from consumption and not from spoilage and not from consumption. At least I think so. But you see that 250 times speed is quite nice. We don't have enough wood to build this right now, so we need to terraform, fell a few trees here. This needs 700 wood. We have 66 wood right now. More. We have 600 stones on the other hand, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my... No, not now. I'm going to first have to finish this building. Otherwise, my livestock is going to degrade without me having any. Okay, that was not enough wood. Need more wood. Also, the meat is running out. And meat grubs. My stockpile is full of stone. There should still be stone lying around somewhere. Also, quite a nice map actually. If I look at the fertility, I have quite a few fertile patches over here, which is nice. Okay. Now they're building. Perfect. As soon as they're finished building, yep, they did just slaughter 1 or 2 of those Baltic rollers. And now we have the herders in here working animals. And they are tending to them, and once they're finished tending, they put in another animal and so forth until they're full. Sadly, we only have space for 5 Baltic rollers, which is not a lot, but the more important number is this here. We produce 0.3 livestock a day, so we can build more Baltic roller breeders. Okay, now I'm going to show you the most important strategy of this playthrough. We're going to the world map. We're going to look at our neighbors, which is actually only one. Opriud. We're going to diplomacy. We're going to say, hey, you want to trade with me? They're going to say, no, I need 168. And so, hey, you want to trade with me? And I give you exactly 18 stones for it. And they say yes. And now we have a trade agreement. So what I can do now is I can just sell them all my stone. And then say, okay, you want to give me 8,300 and something. And now we have a bit of money. And this money we can later use to buy other stuff. Food situation is okay. Stone situation will go down shortly once they take the stones that I've just sold. What we can do now is we can make our insect boys, one of which has already died. Great start. And we can tell them, hey, you want to put some stones in your house to make you happy, and they will do just so. And then we will immediately start the production on our next multicolor breeder. The main thing on this difficulty is you have to overproduce food at all points. Because if you don't overproduce the food, you're going to starve to death. Next dimensions. Here. And then we can make our gate over here. Again, need a hut. One hut is not enough. Needs a hut and whatever this should be. Okay, 1000 wood. This is going to take a while. So we let the first migrants come in. 4 people just joined our village. Welcome to pain and suffering for the rest of your life, which is positively short. Because our insect boys over here have a lifespan of at maximum 50 years. So it's going to be a short and very painful life, but hey, could be worse. They could be, I don't know, work in the mines, which will take a few until we mines. Okay, need to clear out a bit more of this mountain. We have enough living space. We have food. Whenever we go low on food, we hunt. What we can also do, because our insect boys, they are quite liberal when it comes to the procurement of their food. So what we can do is, I'm just trying to find where it is. We can build a cannibal and just slaughter them. Yeah, I mean, not while they're living, that would be cruel. But we can, once we have corpses, we can eat those corpses. Or at least produce meat out of them. Okay, 4 cannibals should be enough. Give them some workbenches. Cannibals do love their workbenches. I've seen all those horror movies. %, stay happy. Okay. In the meanwhile, we can let in more insect boys. Food situations good. Getting new stones. Also good, because stones are money. Over here, they are digging. We'll need quite a lot more wood once this is finished. But until then, we can just let it run on 250 times speed. Things are looking good so far. I mean, we just started out. We have our next deranged person. Or, I don't know, insect person. But we make our people very happy, so we can let in more people. Why are you not building this? And now we are an emir. Oh, I think I forgot to give them access to the mountain. So they actually cannot build it. Which would be a problem, because now we have enough people that we need 3 houses. Also, since we have more people, we're going to need more food. So the next grubby boys are going to get slaughtered. So we definitely don't need 3 cannibals. 1 is enough. I don't actually know if it works as intended, but I think once some of my inhabitants die, instead of going to the graveyard, they come to the cannibal and then they get a budget for meat. But I haven't done any testing to find out if this is actually true. What I know is that my people actually, when I go to environment, like cannibalism. So I thought I'm going to give them some meat diet, which consists of their own brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers. Yeah, loyalty is decreasing. That's not a problem. We can fix it quickly. The only thing we really gotta keep an eye out in the early game is that our people don't start starving to death. Right now we're taking 14.5 food a day. We're producing 4.75 food a day, so we're producing way less food than we consume. The problem is, what's not calculated in here actually is whenever we go out and we hunt. This is also one of the most important mechanics for this playthrough, slaves. We're gonna rely heavily on slaves. Some of you might sigh now and think, oh, ooh, that's how he's doing it. Yeah. I'm cranking everything up to the highest difficulty, but I'm going to use all the gifts Jake has given. And slaves are definitely one of those gifts. Don't quote me out of context, please. But they make the game much more easy. Because they have very little demands and they excel at the different work. Okay, just going to have to quickly suspend this job so they actually go hunting. Now we are full on food and we can activate this job again. We're also full on stone. Let's go out into the world. Diplomacy. Sell him all my stone. Wants to give me 7,550 for it. I say thank you. We're becoming great friends over here. Another thing I'm desperately going to need, I'm just remembering, is actually a janitor. Because one of the difficulty settings makes it so our buildings degrade much faster. And as I can see on my stockpile, that one is already starting to degrade quite heavily. So what I'm going to do here is make janitor station where they can work and where I can provide them with the utilities they need to work. Because it is already 27% degraded, I don't know if it has any effect on warehouses, but on other buildings it has quite a profound effect. This building, as I said, can't actually degrade. There's not even a degrading indicator anywhere. Even though it gave me a tooltip in the beginning that the way I designed this room, it will need more maintenance, which was just a lie or a false tooltip. Okay, 3 janitors is fine, and what they are going to do now, every one of these red dots is a spot that needs repairing. So they are now going to head out and start repairing these spots over here. And the problem is some of those spots need special materials. So over here you can see this spot, to repair it, it needs stone. And one of the difficulty settings is robustness, and I've cranked it up to hard++, and robustness makes your buildings degrade faster or slower, depending on if you have it or not. So my buildings degrade 150% faster right now, which is right now not a problem at all, but it will turn into a problem in the long run. But as you can see right now, we already tripled our population almost. We're doing fine. The food situation at the moment is quite easy. Those Baltic crawlers, they breed faster than we can hunt them. So I think up to like 50 population, we are perfectly fine with this. Also, my insect boys are quite happy because they have the expectation of 0.07% fulfillment, and at the moment they have 0.17% fulfillment, which is mostly due to the fact that I'm giving them all the stone they want for the furniture. What we're also going to need in the long run is more houses, of course. So I'm digging into the mountain over here, making a basis for people. I'll also try to make the city not too ugly, which is easier said than done, but I'm trying to give it my best. Also, I will not be building any roads at the moment. I will start when I have the appropriate tech, and I will go immediately into stone roads. Because if I start building dirt roads now, with the difficulty settings I've chosen, half of my workforce would probably need to be janitors, and they would be repairing constantly. That's not a hassle I want to have. So I'm going to move a bit faster, dig it out. Which has the added benefit of producing a bit more stone. Over here there's a lot of stone, which we can use later to sell. What I can do, for an example, to show you, is we need 58 furniture to upgrade this stockpile. I'm just going to look what he wants for 58 furniture. Okay, he wants 21,000. I think we can do that. 400. Then I'm just going to give him my stone. Not make him happy. Throw in a bit of meat, and we have the furniture we need. What is happening right now when I buy something? When I sell something, it just magically disappears out of my stockpile. When I buy something, a caravan starts from his city center and walks all over to mine. And the caravan from mine walks to his. And then our trade is completed. Since I sold some food, better get hunting again. 3 grubs, fine. I think this is the caravan coming in, delivering furniture. And once we have the furniture, we can upgrade. And now we can store much more food, much more wood, and much more stone. All of which we're going to need. The scale in this game gets quite crazy, so we start out very slow over here. Later on, you can have cities with like 20,000 people. It's about the maximum you can achieve. Easily. I will definitely not play that long into this game, because it just turns into a slog. All the difficulty settings really do is they make it a lot slower and a lot more, you have to be a lot more methodical to go through it. They don't make it that much harder actually. Okay, with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here. And I've actually up. Because I will to put, and then I can build long houses once it's dark. Okay, speed it up again. My people are working. Some of them are going crazy. Some of them are dying. All is well. Okay, now we get in some stone because my people start to carry all that stone that they just mined into storage. We need a lot more wood to finish this. And what we can do with all that stone is we can get some money. 22,100. The prices are actually dynamical, so every time I sell something, the price goes down a bit. And later on that will hurt quite a bit. But we won't be selling stone for all game. It's just for the beginning, to make it easier to buy furniture, for example. We can produce our own furniture later, but the way I'm doing it right now is a bit easier. Also, when you go hunt, the Baltic crows are the best, they give the most meat. And as far as I've seen, there's no possibility for them to actually hurt your people. If you hunt other things, they can bite back and kill some of your people. Which is also not that big of a problem, because you can just let in more immigrants. Right now 11 people wanna join this shithole, but in the long run it can hurt. Okay, we need more horses for more people. So we are going to produce more longhouses over here. And then we can let in more people. What we also could build is a market. But that needs furniture. Let's build. Okay, 14 furniture. I think we can manage that. My big Baltic coral breeder is getting built. I'm just going to enable one pot of livestock in my stockpile, so they can put it there, leaving it out in the cold, as they do over here. Later on, I'm going to remove this Baltic coral breeder once the big one is up, just so we can readjust the workforces. But as you can see, we are making progress. So far, doesn't seem impossible. The only thing that's a bit different is I wouldn't hunt as much. I would maybe grow stuff, which you can't do on the hardest difficulty in the beginning. You have to hunt actually, because the year, it takes 1 year for stuff to grow. And in that year, some people are going to starve. You just don't have enough food in the beginning to just immediately go into planting crops and waiting for them to grow. How much wood are going to need? One important note, which is one of the biggest tips of this playthrough, you're going to see. Once materials are put into a building, like here, you see there's like 547 out of 1143 wood in here right now, that actually can't degrade. So if they put wood into a building waiting to be constructed, these materials, they don't degrade. And that is one very important part. I think I've just hit the microphone. Sorry if you heard it. Okay, the longhouse is already. I think we can go for some more immigrants let all in. Now we are at 40 people. Later on, there's some added difficulties once you reach a certain threshold, which is this one, Prontix, 75 people. That's the point where people from outside can come and raid your village. But I'm going to show you that there's also quite an easy fix for that one. So we don't have to worry about it too. I think enough wood. Now loyalty is going down. They feel less happy. The more people you have, the more happiness is required. And they are having a problem with something. Wells is okay, speakers is okay, harps is okay. Yes, I could give them a stage. Oh yeah, I need to research that and not give them a stage. But I can give them a market. Just going to trade with my good friends over here. Say, hey, give me 15 chairs. I want 5,500 for it. Yes, chairs are on the way, and then they can build the market. The market is also a service my people demand. And the Baltic crawler is built. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to trash this building. So they can walk over here. And they have space for 17 Baltic crawlers over here, which is quite a bit better than one we had here. What I'm going to build over here is a little carpenter. Which I'm building a bit bigger in the beginning, just so I can later scale it as I want it. Do it like this. Okay, looking good. Could even put more in there. Don't need to. And we're not going to build, let them work there immediately. My insect boys are quite bad at everything crafting. What I'm also going to change, because I simply like how it looks, is I'm going to move the hearth over here, maybe. Better. Then I can remove this one. Okay, what else is there in the immediate proximity? So half an hour in, 40 minutes in, I'm going to take a look at my map. Which is actually, pro tip, you should do that before. So, not a lot in my direct vicinity. There's some clay over here. But since I had no deposits on the world map, all my deposits on this map are quite terrible. So when you look at the world map, had I plopped down my city over here, I would have quite a bit more clay. Down here, civilian. Quite nice. So all my deposits in here are quite bad. So here we have stone, also 30%. And what that does is just a multiplier. So normally one person produces like 5 stones, but since the fertility, the deposit fertility, the wrong word. Since the deposit is only 30%, they produce only 30% of a worker. So the carpenter is being built. They're still using wood. Job for them. We have food for 22 days, which is a big fat lie. We are producing some food. Ah yeah, now once this building is finished, it tries to employ everyone, which we don't need, don't want, care. Okay, next steps. What we're going to need with this furniture we're producing now is we're going to have to advance. We're going to have to advance our scientific. And since my insect boys, they're good at some things, but science is definitely not one of them. I'm going to build a big science station. One smaller. Just trying to get rid of all the yellow triangles so it doesn't take direction. Sorry. Here. Here. So I don't want to pay more maintenance than is needed. I can do. Looking good. No. Bothers me, sorry. That's my key. Fuck. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to build a huge science room, which will later be stocked by our slaves, which are going to be human slaves, because humans are really good at science. Insects are really bad at science. Triggering me quite a bit. This stuff here. I don't think it matters if they have to walk all around or not. So what we're going to need here is 70 furniture. This is going to take a while, but since all the furniture they're producing is going directly into here, it doesn't degrade. Furniture is also one of those things that degrades quite fast, 37.5% per year. It's not good. We only have 3 animals here? Where's all my livestock? Did it all degrade? This is going to take a while until it's full. Until then, we're producing 1/10 the food we need. So what I can do also, I can plop down a fruit farm and produce some. The insects, actually, they don't like fruit. Not one of the preferred types of food, but it gets produced quite. It grows really fast. You can stockpile it up, and then it's just for your people. So now we're gonna speed it up again. My people, the insects, the Garfimi as they called, they like meat and fish. Fish we could get over here, maybe later. But the problem is fish is very inefficient. So it would have to feed my whole population, I would need like half my population as fishermen or fisher bugs. Which is not something I can do without making the game even more of a slog. Okay, we need some fruits to get the farm started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy that fruit. Here. Sauces. Here. You can give me 100 food. Not that expensive. 1,520 for it. 24. I'm sorry. Here, take it. Now a caravan is coming in. In here, all the furniture we're going to produce, which is whopping 1.4 per day, going to be put in here. And that will slowly build. Will take a while, as I said. All the difficulty settings really do is make it a lot smaller, a lot slower to play. Once again, hunt some bugs, safety, get some rocks, so I can buy food if I need it. Then we're going to wait for the next slaver, which has already gone. Missed him. Now the fruit farm is being built. And it's being worked on. We have 3 people left for work, which is too little. This time I'm not going to let everyone in. It would be a bit too much too soon. New title. And now we're going to wait a bit. Okay, we're getting stone, that's nice. How's it looking with our buildings? We're doing a fine job. So I think that is a good first look into this. We're stable, we're expanding. We've grown from 10 to 44 Garfimis. So I think for a first episode that's quite enough. And I think you see where this is going. I don't even know if I want to make a full series out of this. I will edit it down a bit in the next episode. But it's just a slow step by step going forward, and it's not really that different from playing the game regularly on normal difficulty. It's just that you have to be a bit more methodical about it and use the trading system a bit more, which gets harder on. The larger my city grows, the more difficult it will be. But the problem is, once we build the laboratory and we get some science, we can put the science into exactly those points we made harder in the first place. We can hack into maintenance, which lowers our gives our robustness a buff, so we don't have to repair as much. And we can tech into spoilage, which makes our food spoil less frequently. So what we can do here is we lower the difficulty again. So if I have enough science, I'm just moving towards the same thing most people play on anyways. The only real difference is that the world map is going to be a bit more aggressive, which gets cancelled out by the fact that I can't amass that much wealth because the spoilage is higher and I have inflation, so my money goes down all the time. So the aggressiveness doesn't come into play that much. And if someone attacks me, I can just sell a few things, buy mercenaries, and then fend off that attack, which I can show you if there's demand for it, but I honestly can't even imagine that anyone watches this thing to the end. I've just rambled on for 50 minutes right now to show you that even on the hardest difficulty, it's actually not that hard. You just have to be a bit methodical. Also, Garfimi are quite easy to please in the beginning. Of course, it would be harder if I picked another race. But even then, it's not that bad. Because even if I pick Amivias or Tilapis, I can just export the thing they are good at. Tilapis actually I think is quite easy because they are really good breeders, so I just make more more breeding spots and more hunter early on, and then things are looking quite rosy. But if you've made it this far, I'm proud of you. I love you. I don't know why you did that, but thank you. And maybe we're gonna see each other or hear each other. Goodbye.